Welcome to HP Tuner's GM Gen 5 training part 32. In this training module, we're going to be taking a look at using our VCM scanner to explore our closed loop behavior a little bit further so you can get familiar with recognizing how the closed loop feature works that we talked about in our previous training module. Without further wait, let's jump in so we can check this out. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to be taking a look at our closed loop operation in our VCM scanner. So we want to go in and review all of the data channels associated with the closed loop operation. In our last tutorial, we focused on the basics of closed loop. We talked about a lot of terminologies: closed loop, open loop, injector pulse width, short-term, long-term fuel trims, O2 switching voltages. These are all things that, as I was talking and going through how the closed loop feature worked, they may not have been super relevant to you. So we're going to go in and dig into the VCM scanner so you can actually watch what's going on as the engine is running, and we can introduce the closed loop operation and make better sense of what's going on and how it all works. So I'm going to be jumping here from my VCM editor software and jumping right into my VCM scanner software. Let's go in here and take a look. So I'm in my VCM scanner. Now I am sitting in our 2018 Yukon Denali test vehicle that we're using for our training course right now. I have my MPVI-2 cable plugged into the OBD2 port, also plugged into my laptop, which means if I fire up the engine, I can start to data log and take a look at the behavior of everything. So we will be doing that here in just a few minutes. What I want to do here is just get ourselves set up for this tutorial. You want to make sure that you have the proper logging channels list here in your channels list. If I go here to File Open, Open Channel Config, I'm going to go here into my desktop. And let's go up here to the other desktop. We're going to go into our desktop here, into our GM Gen 5 training course folder. This is the course packet that I provided. You're able to download that right from the course library. Let's go ahead and double click. And we can go in here to our VCM scanner and then into our logging channels. And in here, you're going to be grabbing your GM Gen 5 general channels. That's what I have loaded right now in my left-hand side of my screen here in my PID logging channels list. So this will automatically populate channels that'll be relevant for doing your tuning, and these are general channels. We're going to have more specific channel logging for specific tasks as we go through the training modules and the training courses here, but for right now, this is all we need to look at for this specific training module. So let's go here from the top and let's scroll down a little bit and down towards the bottom of our screen on our left-hand side. All of what we find here in this cluster of PID channels, these logging channels, this is going to be relating to the closed loop correction, telling us what is going on and how everything is operating. So we can find here, I also have integrated, and I want to mention this, that I have our wideband EQ ratio. This is the lambda reading coming from the wideband I have installed in the vehicle. I have an AEM X series wideband gauge installed. That's going to be in my bank 1 orientation, so I only have one wideband sensor, and it's going to be an OBD2 serial stream type of wideband, meaning I have the OBD2 connector that I plug into the OBD2 port, then I plug my MPVI-2 cable onto that connector. It's essentially a pass-through, and what this is doing is adding on an OBD2 serial stream so we can log wideband seamlessly into our VCM scanner. Now we're going to have another tutorial coming up here very shortly talking about how to integrate a wideband into your VCM scanner logs and looking at your data here. It is an invaluable logging channel that you want to have to be able to do any tuning, especially at full throttle. But for right now, I just wanted to mention that I do have that configured in here, and we will be able to take a look at the actual lambda reading, not just what's reported from the oxygen sensors. Okay, so moving our way down here, we have all these different channels. The best thing to do right now is actually to fire up the engine and start our data logging. Then we can start to talk about what these channels represent and what we need to look for and how to determine how the closed loop operation is functioning. Let me go ahead and fire up the engine right now here quick. Go ahead and fire it up. And I'm going to jump up here into the scanner and I'm going to start scanning. Let's give this a second and it should connect, and we see it's connected right away. Now, looking at this, we have a PID channel called injector flow rate. This is useful, but for right now, we don't need to worry about this particular channel. If we go down here a little bit further, we have our injector pulse width. This is going to be injector pulse width bank 1 and bank 2. And what this is doing is just looking at either bank of our operation. Now, the injector pulse width, we talked about this in our last tutorial. This represents how much the injector is being opened and closed in a period of time measured in seconds or milliseconds. And in this case, 0.9, 1.0 milliseconds. That's extremely quick. That's how quickly the injector is opening and closing. The bigger the injector opening and closing event, or the higher the reported injector pulse width, that's going to be putting more fuel into the engine. The smaller the value, the shorter period of time will put less fuel into the engine. Now the injector pulse width gets me. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here, and you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.